Coach Prime, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What in the hell is going on in Colorado? Coach Prime fighting back against the trolls of the internet. And he's making comments now that we've never seen a head coach do. We've never seen a head coach comment and attack trolls. We've never seen a head coach make comments and attack former players on whether they're good or bad. We've never seen that before. I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, he came at some troll that talked about Shedeur. First of all, trolls are they're everywhere. But they're not always wrong either. They're not always wrong. You know, and what this guy said, this troll said, is that Shedeur Sanders walking around like he's great on a 4-8 team. All of that is 100% true. All of it is 100% true. But then for Deion to come back, well, he's probably going to be a top 5 pick. What's your son doing? Well, you don't know anything about this person's son. First of all, you don't even know if it's a man or a woman. Second of all, they could be a CEO at some company. They could be a dentist. They could be a teacher. They could be a fireman or a policeman. They could be anything. Let's not act like being the first, a top 5 pick in the NFL is the only thing to do to be successful in life. That would be number one. Number two, why are you talking to this person anyway? It's not like what they said was false. It's true. So why are you responding? Be better than that, Deion. Come on, man. What is the point? And then you go, they get into a spat with, they're going back and forth with a former player who transferred, who said that Deion didn't try to get to know me. He was hurt. He was breaking people down. You know, he was, I understand the tough love, but this kid said, you know, he was getting in people's psyche, not giving them a chance, didn't want to get to know them. First of all, I think, hey, man, you got to toughen up a little bit. That's just coaching. You're trying to figure out if somebody's tough enough to be there mentally, that's just coaching. That's number one. So stop crying to the media because they didn't think you were good enough to play there. If you were, go prove that you're good enough to play there. Period. End of story. Don't settle and all this other stuff. Don't do all of that. Just go prove you're good enough to play there. Just go do that. But apparently that's not what he was interested in doing, so he does an interview, bad-mouthing Colorado and Coach Prime. Shedeur answers back. Oh, I don't even remember his name. He must have been mid at best. Then the guy comes back, or a teammate comes back, and they're going back and forth in the media, and then Deion chimes in. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, is all that necessary? Because I don't think it's necessary. Now it's just being messy. It's just being the definition of messy, you know, which is silly. Which is silly at best. Come on, Deion, be better. Be better. You don't have to prove anything to any of these trolls, man. You just got to be better. You just got to be better. As a reminder, man, I know there was a certain platform that froze up. I understand that. If it happens, remember, you have a live link that you can click on and come on over to the other side. You can come on over to that live link and then subscribe, and you can always catch the show live there. So remember that. Remember that. Don't worry about it freezing up. We'll keep refreshing it and coming back. But if you don't want to get buffered, which apparently that's what they're doing these days, just click on the live link and come on over. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Let's go to some of these comments here. So, sorry, man, but the record was 4-8. You got to work to do instead of trying to go back and forth. Yeah. Enough of the back. Just go win some games. We don't want to hear anything other than we had a good season. You're putting out a good product. Don't talk to me how good you are or you're going to be. We need to see it. See, you told us all of this last year how good you were going to be, and you weren't. Even though a lot of us, including myself, saw your roster and knew that your roster wasn't going to be worth a damn because you were going to have terrible offensive and defensive lines. Well, you did, and you paid the price for it. So now the talking should be over. It's time to go show us. So, Colorado, again, I've said it from the beginning, and I'll continue to say it. I want Deion to succeed. I want him to succeed. However, that doesn't mean that it's going great right now. So, it doesn't mean that it's going great right now. Yes, Coach Prime just needs to coach, but he won't. He's Prime. That's right. He just needs to coach, but that's not what he's going to do. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to continue to talk. Well, and sooner or later, the media and everybody else is going to stop paying attention to you if you don't go win football games. That's what happens. They do it with everybody because you'll be so irrelevant, nobody's going to care. Right now, you're in the news because if football-wise, nothing's going on, so it's easy to cover messiness because that's what's going on in Colorado, a lot of messiness. And people love messy. But once the games start, and if you don't start winning, nobody's going to care. Not this year. Last year, people cared. You come out and you start 2-5, nobody's going to care anymore. Nobody's going to care. And they're just going to move on, and Colorado will go back to the irrelevant self that it's been. At some point, go coach. At some point, go win. Stop telling us about what you're going to do. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. And you're right, Pat Cockrell. They're acting like they're hot shit after going 4-8 in a laughable look. Yes, honestly, can't wait to see the Big 12 humble them. Well, they got humbled last year. If going 4-8 and finishing dead last in the Pac-12, that was humbling. So the Big 12 might just humiliate them. But we'll see. The one thing I will say, the guys that they brought in on both sides of the line, they should be better. They should be better. Now, will they be better? We'll see. We will see. So, my man Ben Tatum, what's going on, Ben? That's a good point. This is the easiest era to be able to change schools and start fresh. When I was in school, they would have sat back. Yeah, that's why people didn't transfer. Or if you did transfer, you moved down a level so you didn't have to sit out. But anytime you transferred either up a level or lateral, you had to how to get players and using social media. That stuff might change. But as far as coaches just acting and doing and saying the things that Deion does, that isn't going to happen. Because, again, those coaches, most coaches, they don't have what Deion has. They don't have that charisma. They just don't. They don't. They don't have the charisma. They don't have the cachet that Deion has. They don't. They don't have the respect of the media. But the one thing I know, you come out and you fall flat on your face this year, you won't have the respect of the media next year. That part I know for a fact. People will get tired of it. People will get tired of it. So, look at this. Fancy shirt there. So, hey, man, I do my best. I do my best to try to come up with certain stuff. I got my good old 24/7 shirt. My man Fitz hooked me up. I like to look good every now and then, too. I like to look good. I got different stuff for different occasions. You know what I'm saying? Your man trying to look good. But yeah, man, we got to see about Prime. We got to see about Prime. Enough. Enough. Just go back to coaching your team, man. Go get better. Go get more players out of the transfer portal. My man Hooligan. What's going on, Hooligan? Welcome back to the show. It's kind of like asking a tiger to change his stripes. Yeah, that Deion's not going to do that. He's not going to change. And let me just ask you all this. His daddy, Deion, showed us while he was telling us. Shedeur hasn't shown us anything. He hasn't shown us anything. And while he might be a top pick, I get that. I need to see some wins. Just go win. So, just go win. Houston Davis, those kids need to take advantage and do what's best for them. I agree, but that also has to include some winning. Go win some games. Take advantage, make all the money, flash all the money. Be careful. Just like I said yesterday, there's always people watching you, so be careful when you're flashing. But do all of that. But also, let's win. Let's win a little bit. Let's win a little bit. So, is this a preview of my Derby attire? No. If y'all don't know, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. The Kentucky Derby is coming up on Saturday. And this is not a preview. No. Dude, these colors aren't bright enough for Derby attire. I got shirts for that. I got a shirt. I got a hat. I will probably bring some of that out for you guys tomorrow. Some of my Derby attire. Because that's important. That's important. The old Derby attire. I haven't followed it this year. I have no idea what horse is running. All I know is I'm going to pick somebody and we're going to bet big and we're going to try to win. We're going to try to retire. That's what I'm talking about with the Derby.